This original WSRE presentation is made possible by viewers like you. Thank you.
Impact 100, 15 years strong and more impactful than ever. Details straight ahead on this edition of inStudio.
You know, Pensacola Bay Area is such a special place. And from the beginning, the founding board and then the leadership that has taken place ever after and the members have been so passionate about the Impact 100 concept, the process. It's like they can't help themselves but to talk about it and spread the word.
Those were words from the founder of the original Impact 100 in Cincinnati, Ohio, Wendy Steele, during the 10-year anniversary celebration of the Pensacola Bay Area Impact 100 some 5 years ago. Her words still ring true today, even more so. And to quote Holly Jernevoy, who was president of the group from 2012 through 2014, our grant recipients have been able to make an impact on the community because of the power women have when they pool their funds and give collectively. That is the simple yet revolutionary idea behind Impact 100. We've gathered together quite a lineup of women to talk about where Impact 100 is today. Now in its 15th year, we'll discuss where Impact has been and where Impact is going. We have a rotating guest list for this broadcast, and kicking things off are Debbie Richey. Debbie is the founder and president emeritus of Impact 100, Pensacola Bay Area, and Belle Bear, a founding board member of the Pensacola Bay Area Impact 100. Belle continually serves on the board as a founding board representative. So Belle and Debbie have both been very involved since the very beginning. So welcome, ladies, and thank you for being here with us today. We'll start out talking just a little bit more about your individual backgrounds because not everybody knows them. And I think I'll do something different. Debbie, I'd like to have you tell me about Belle, and then Belle, I want you to tell the community about Debbie in 30 seconds or so.
Great. Thank you, Sherry. First of all, on behalf of Impact, thank you to you and to inStudio for helping us to tell this story. We appreciate that very much. So telling a story about Belle Bear in this community really isn't a difficult task. The Bear family has been active in this community both as business leaders but also as community philanthropists for years. But Belle individually with Impact has been involved from the very beginning in so many different ways, but I would say no one is more passionate about really driving new members into Impact than Belle Bear. She believes in what the organization does, and as a result, she wants other people to fall in love with the ability to make a difference in this community the way that Impact has been able to do. So involved in every aspect of the organization over the years, continues to stay as a member of the board because we thought it really important to keep that founding set of core values and principles very much alive in the organization. And so Belle continues to bring both the history, the institutional knowledge that's so important in an organization, but staying current with what the needs of this community are today.
It's fantastic. And Belle, tell us
The
about
one thing
Debbie.
I'd like to say, let's see, about Debbie is, actually, I really didn't know Debbie very well. We had only met, and she had a luncheon and invited women to come to it and talk about Impact 100, and then sent out a notice of how many wanted to really be on the board, and I thought, well, that sounded like something really good. So Debbie and I, because of Impact 100, have become very, very good friends. She's taught me a lot about volunteering, about getting involved in a lot of stuff, and she's just an amazing lady. She works hard with her business. Sometimes I always tell her too hard that I never get to see her, but she is right on top of everything in the community, and I love her. So.
Special ladies indeed. Debbie, I love the story of Impact, and you weren't reading the Wall Street Journal, even though you did that as well. You read all of the important publications, but I must confess I read People magazine from time to time as well, just for fun. Tell
Yeah,
us
you
your
have to
story.
have that escape, right? I'm
right.
always a little reticent to say, it wasn't in some literary magazine, but just trying to get away from life a little bit. But there was a really incredible story about the organization that started in Cincinnati, and this simple idea of how you could gather this group of women and collectively pool your resources and then give a high impact grant to a nonprofit that had need. And that was really the foundation of what Impact was about. And we have appreciated a really rich relationship with Wendy Steele. And I'll tell you, and Bill and I say this often, we just had the good fortune to get involved that first year. The beauty of Impact 100 is that it's not about any individual. It truly is about a group of women who come together with just this true desire to want to make a difference. And we love that, you can be a stay-at-home mom trying to juggle soccer and everything else that you have going on with raising a family and give $1,000 and make a difference. You can be a career woman who is very much involved in day-to-day work activities and get involved, or you can just be a philanthropist who wants to really get involved. You kind of can define your level of participation as long as you're willing to give $1,000, you are a woman, and every year you're willing to say, hey, that was a great experience, I want to do it again.
How do you get so many women? Because the numbers just keep growing.
Well, I will tell you, Sherry, I think at the very beginning, I can remember the first year that we did have a membership drive, and Debbie can say it's true. We wondered, would it be possible to get 100 women to donate $1,000? And that first year we had 233, which was amazing. And so after that, as I always tell people, Impact doesn't have any money, so we have businesses, people who donate and pay for the nonprofit socials. We started off having them at people's homes and found out that that really didn't work. People felt more obligated if they came to your home. So we moved to restaurants, to just facilities that nobody was attached to. And all of our membership socials today are given to us because we don't have the money to pay for it, and they laugh at me when I say that, but it really is the way it's done. It took a while for the community to trust us, and now it's very simple to get people to donate.
So those were some early challenges. What about Hurricane Ivan? Well, that was a bit of a challenge.
All right, because to Belle's point, one of the core principles of Impact is every dollar of the $1,000 you donate goes to a nonprofit. So there we were that first year, ready to have our big press announcement to name our finalists and really to get the women excited about the process. And Hurricane Ivan hit and devastated this community. So we went from sort of the initial excitement of giving away those grant dollars to women in our own organization really struggling. Many of them had lost their homes, had lost belongings, or had other family or friends who had been impacted. And so we sort of regrouped at that point and reminded ourselves that that was going on, and yet we were founded for a purpose, and that purpose was to give back. So we decided, let's stay the course. Belle and I laugh about it. The only thing we really changed that very first year, we had this dinner that was planned. Women would come and participate in a nice meal, and somehow that felt a little too much in those times. So we regrouped and we said, we'll just get together, maybe have a few appetizers, and we'll really focus on why we're meant to be there. And that really held true to what Impact is today. You know, really more about the nonprofits and learning about them than about what we are doing as an organization.
Sure. Well, it's, you know, to be able to do both is extraordinary. Now, we cover a couple of counties.
We do. We only give money to nonprofits in Escambia and Santa Rosa County. And the reason that I've stayed on the board, Sherry, is because of our core values. And we formed those from year one, and I won't let them change them. There are a few things we've had to change, but nothing in our core values. And our core values are, it's $1,000 for membership. I always say, first of all, it's just women. There are a lot of men who would like to be in, but they can donate their money, but it's just women. Every dollar, as Debbie said, goes back into the community. We have no paid staff. It's one woman, one vote. We don't give under a $100,000 grant, which is really what makes the impact on a nonprofit. The nonprofits that apply must be a 501c3. And the best part is we do a site visit to every nonprofit that does apply. And that way, the nonprofit, whether they are winners of the money, they win because there have been women that have gone and visited with them and learned about their organizations. And a lot of times, they end up being on their board or really getting involved with them because they were so impressed with it. We also divided it into 5 focus areas. So it would cover the entire community. It's arts and culture, education, environment, recreation and preservation, health and wellness, and family. And that does really cover all of them. But I think that's pretty much our core values.
That covers the whole spectrum right there. Let's talk about the impact of Impact.
Well, part of the mission of our organization is to ensure effective philanthropy. So to Belle's point, it's not just that we're giving high-impact grants. We want to create awareness and education in this community of all the wonderful nonprofits who are doing really phenomenal work. And we remembered that first year, we were giving 2 grants away and sort of lamenting, like, why can't we fund all 5, which we wanted to do? And what we learned was once our process ended, giving did not end. So people who were there that fell in love with a nonprofit started writing personal checks or connected to other foundations or other ways to give. And we've often referred to that as the impact of impact. It's giving beyond that. And it's not only dollars, which are so helpful to nonprofits, it's also time. And we have women who really know how to get in and really shape and form and make a nonprofit better. And sometimes, especially for new nonprofits, that's what they need more than anything. Just someone to help them build a healthier, stronger foundation so that they can do their work.
Those connections are so incredible, and I know as a nonprofit that I've worked with and applied for a grant with Impact, more good does come even if you don't get the grant the first time around. Is that true?
Exactly. Actually, the first year, one of our finalists that was not a winner ended up getting more money from someone who heard the story than they would have from the Impact grant. So that was a big, big deal. The community now really trusts us, so much so that a few years ago, the Pensacola Chamber PACE Awards gave Impact 100 the Spirit Award, which we were very pleased over.
Wow. We're about to go to break, but tell us about some of the past presidents.
Well, you've got quite a collection of women here today, and you'll meet some of our past and current presidents, but not joining us today and really impactful in the organization was Linda Hoffman, who was the president that followed me, and then Julie Shepard, who's with IHMC, also a member, and Marnie Needle, also involved. And then beyond that group, you're going to meet more women here today.
Good. Well, we're going to take a short break, and when we return, we'll be joined by Holly Jernevoy, another member of Impact 100, Pensacola Bay Area. She's been instrumental in the success of this organization as well. You're watching inStudio on WSRE TV, PBS for the Gulf Coast. Welcome back. This is inStudio on WSRE TV. We'd like to thank our panelists Debbie Richey and Belle Bear, and welcome to the discussion Holly Jernevoy. Holly was membership chair for 2 years, focus committee chair, and served on the grants committee. So involved. And Holly, I quoted you earlier from your remarks during the 10-year anniversary celebration when you spoke about how powerful and impactful women can be, especially together. Welcome, Holly.
Thank you very much for having us.
And as I said, we're going to kind of talk a little bit about some more of the things that we were talking about earlier, but the big news is that we are
the largest Impact 100, not just in the country, but in the world, because they are now Impact 100 organizations in Australia, and I think last thing I heard they want to start some in China or New Zealand. So we are the largest in the world. But the point I wanted to make about this, we go to conferences and help other Impact 100s grow and learn how to follow the model. And they always ask, what is your secret? How is it that you're the largest in the world? And I say, well, we follow the model very strictly and that we have a very giving community. But what I always say is our secret sauce is Belle Bear. Because look, nobody can say no to Belle Bear, and she works harder than anybody else on this board does. So she is truly our secret sauce to being the largest in the world.
Well, Holly, I would have to say that the big secret is, and I think we're the only one that I know of, Impact, where every board member is involved with membership. And that is a big deal.
Yeah, other impacts have they're delegated a certain task and they stick to their role very firmly. Everybody helps with membership in our Impact 100 organization. And we call everyone who's ever been a member as best we can to try and touch base with them to see if they want to rejoin. And it's a lot of effort for us, but I think it pays off.
Well, and at the end of the day, what you want is for all of these women who have been involved to feel that they took something away from the experience, and therefore they're telling other people about it, or they are saying, I have to do this again. It's just part of what I need to do every year because it's important to me. And so I think collectively, we've done a nice job of making it a combination of fun. Belle often jokes that in those early days, which is so true, we were really intent that this will not be a social organization. This is really a philanthropic organization. But we recognized that the membership wanted to have a little fun while they gave away their money. And we found a way to find that nice balance in that. And I think all those things have made it better.
I think it's part of really working with the mission of Impact 100, because we've come to know and serve the community by working on our focus areas if members choose to. It's like Debbie always says, you can choose to give as much or as little as you want to Impact, but if you choose to take the time and be involved, you do know our community, you learn our community, and we also help the nonprofits to be better organizations, to write better grants. I think you were commenting that some organizations have applied several times, but as you go through the process, as you go to the workshops that we offer to help them write better grants and to become a stronger organization, they improve each year. They let philanthropic women who serve on the committee understand about their mission and the goals that they're trying to reach, and they write a better grant the following year. Some it did take 2 or 3 times before they won, but they had people come and volunteer at their organization and give directly to their organization.
We were saying that earlier. It's just kind of a ripple effect. I am curious, though, when you first started and you had this idea, did you just reach out to all of your friends, or did you just reach out to, how did that go?
Well, it's interesting. Some people thought in those early days that we were all just kind of phoning our best friends, but I was pretty new to the community, to the point Belle made in her introduction of me. Now people know Belle and I sort of like peanut butter and jelly because we're such good friends, but I didn't know Belle then. But I talked to people about, we needed skill set. So we needed a good lawyer. We needed someone who knew the community. We needed a physician. We wanted a CPA person. We wanted someone who was good with PR and marketing, who could help us communicate. There were other things we were looking for. So it was really skill set, not so much who you were in the community. We've worked away trying to dispel this, notion that you have to somehow be invited to be included. As long as you can write that check and you have a desire to want to get involved, we want more inclusion and more diversity. And as I go to meetings today, and contrast it to the early days, I will say we are getting more diversity. You know, we have retired women and we have really young women and, you know, people that are really serving in lots of different, from Escambia to Santa Rosa, sort of covering the community in a different way. And we want even more of that, right?
Absolutely.
Well, and some nonprofits have been able to get more than a grant. They've gotten 2 or 3, haven't
there's
they?
always been a discussion about should we say you can only win once, but really it's not about how often you've won, it's about the quality of your request, your project, your grant, and as long as you're writing the best grant, you have the best project, and it's not up to us. That's something I always fight to make people understand. We as a board do not make any decisions about it. Some other impacts, they narrow down the grants that they're going to give to their committees. Every nonprofit, their grants are reviewed by an entire committee, and it's a group decision, it's a collective decision that when we have our, actually to start from the beginning, the nonprofits get a chance to have a workshop with us in April. I believe we're doing 2 workshops now. Their grants have to be turned in by the end of June, and in July and August, members who choose to review the grants. They go on site visits to ask questions about the projects. They all read all of the grants. They ask questions, learn more. They come back and they report about their grant that they reviewed and site visit for. And then they vote. There's discussion and then the committees vote. At this point, because we're going to be able to give away 11 grants this year, then we have 15 finalists, 3 from each of our 5 focus areas. And those finalists come to our annual meeting every October, and every woman is invited to come to that meeting. We used to allow them to make 7-minute presentations, but when we went to having 15 finalists, there just wasn't time for everybody to sit through that. So we've reduced the amount of our presentation to 5 minutes, and it's made them concise, and I don't think we lost anything by doing that at all. And we vote, and our process has a lot of integrity. Debbie can speak to how this first started, but the supervisor of elections comes out, brings their voting machines, they print our ballots, and they do it all and tell us who the winners are. So there's a lot of integrity in our process.
I think it's wonderful. And Belle, we're getting short on time here, but how do you get more members? What do you think draws people to Impact?
I think today the community trusts us. I think young people are coming in because they have friends that are in it. I think they want to get involved, and it's just a good way to learn about the community. And I honestly will tell you, when we talk about the social part, there are some that I think join. It is that social part in the community.
Well, and I love that no money from the women's $1,000 check each year goes to parties or goes to administrative costs or anything.
Every penny goes back into the community, into a nonprofit.
And I will add, because we'd be remiss not to, you know, there are businesses that have supported our organization year after year, helping us sort of, you know, with some of those administrative costs so that we can ensure that we give every bit of that $1,000 back to the nonprofit. So Impact really is a community organization. It's, you know, founded on people within the community supporting it, and it's founded on other businesses in the community supporting it. And, you know, I think it's one of the reasons we continue to be successful today.
Well, and I think women that know a lot of the nonprofits, they're really proud to be a part of it and that they have helped move it forward, and they see that their money continues to work, and it's just amazing. I mean, I run into women that I really hardly know at the grocery or something, and they're so excited to be a part of Impact and know another member in Impact.
I think it's very exciting. Let's talk about some of the different areas that Impact has impacted, Holly.
Well, as Debbie said, we do have the 5 focus areas: arts and culture, education, environment, recreation and preservation, family, and health and wellness. And we have given grants in all of those focus areas. At this point, I think you showed the graphic, but we will have, by the end of this year, given away 98 grants to a lot of different nonprofits in town, and some of them have really just bloomed because of it. There's exponential growth in these nonprofits, and as someone said, it really gives them a good housekeeping seal of approval because they know they've been through our very stringent process. We examine financials, we examine their project and the organization.
That's huge, really huge. And you know, since it is the biggest in the world, the 10th anniversary was a pretty big deal. You were very involved with that. I enjoyed going to that at the Sanger Theater. Talk Talk about the 10th anniversary.
Yeah, well, it was a lot of fun for us. We were able to go back to some of those sort of founding ideas. Wendy Steele was there, and she was a speaker. We had the kickoff by Katie Couric, just congratulating this community on our good work. And you know, but mostly it was just taking time to pause for a minute and celebrate the true impact we've had in this community. And now fast forward 5 years later, here we are at the 15th anniversary of Impact, and still, to Holly's point, giving away tremendous dollars in this community, impacting all of those focus areas, and collectively, that's what impacts the quality of life in a community.
Wow, in a big way. And a book was created.
It was beautifully done, and I think Belle and Marnie Needle and others were particularly involved. That, again, I think for Impact 100, it's not really so much our story, it's the story of all these nonprofits who have done this tremendous work. We've always worked pretty hard to make sure that we give credit to the women who have donated their time and their treasure, but we also want to acknowledge it's the nonprofits who are doing the work. Those are the individuals and the organizations we really want to celebrate.
Well, and to have this organization to be able to go to, should anyone be intimidated about coming to Impact 100 for a grant?
Absolutely not. No, it is a wonderful process because they gain so much, even if they don't win, just by going through the process of applying and letting so many philanthropic women. We have up to 80 women serve on our committees at this point. So they learn about the nonprofits that have applied to that particular committee. The nonprofits actually choose which focus area they want to apply to. Sometimes a certain grant may impact in several of the focus areas, but they just make a decision about which one is making the most impact and mention, well, we serve all different parts of the community. And I think the nonprofits really love the process at this point. There's no reason to be intimidated by applying for an Impact 100 grant. We really guide people through it.
It's very welcoming and very wonderful to be a recipient of. Final thoughts, Debbie?
Well, just incredible gratitude. We maybe sometimes don't appreciate the fact that this community has such a heart for giving and for giving back. And I think on behalf of Impact 100, it is the women who come together that give, and it is the nonprofits who serve. And so just gratitude.
Thank you for that idea, and thank you for those words, Belle. We've just got a second to go.
Well, it has just been wonderful. I have met the most wonderful women by staying on the board, by going to all of the Impact events. The women in the community, it's incredible. It's every walk of life. That's the best part, because it's women who can write a check and that's all they do. And then there are those women who have to save every day to be a member of Impact 100. And it's amazing.
Yes.
It's awesome.
Well, thank you for your service.
Thank
A
you.
special thank you to Debbie Richey and Belle Bear for taking time out of their busy schedules to be with us for this first part of this exciting broadcast. Holly Jernavoy is staying on for the segment coming up, and we'll also be joined by some other impactful members of Impact. When we come back, more discussion on Impact 100, Pensacola Bay Area. This is In Studio on WSRE TV, PBS for the Gulf Coast. You are watching In Studio on WSRE TV. Our topic, Impact 100, 15 years and still making an impact. And right now we welcome Cindy, Mary, and Bridget with us to our discussion along with Holly. Cindy Warren was president of the Pensacola Bay Area Impact 100 during the years 2014 through 2016. She's been treasurer for the group, has served on the Grants Committee, and now serves on the Impact Global Council. Mary Asmar, who is the current president of Impact 100 Pensacola Bay Area for the years 2016 through 2018. Mary is an original member, Focus Area Committee Chair for 4 years and Membership Chair for 2 years. And Bridget Brooks, President-elect for 2018 through 2020 for Impact 100 Pensacola Bay Area. Bridget was Grants co-chair last year and still serves on the Grants Committee. She is also co-chair of a Focus Area Committee. So welcome to all of you. So glad to have you joining us. And I think it just speaks so well to see we've got a bunch of different people coming in and talking about impact, excited about it, and so glad to have you all here. So past, present, current, future presidents all here able to talk about it. So we're going to kick things off and see what Cindy has to say about the organization.
Well, I am so excited that Impact just keeps growing, keeps doing such wonderful things in our community. You know, our mission statement is to know and serve the community, to collectively fund significant grants to charitable initiatives, and to set an example of effective philanthropy. And all of the things that we do have that mission statement in mind. You know, our focus area committees, we're knowing and serving the community. Our workshops, we're knowing and serving the community. Of course, with $100,000 plus grants, we are certainly funding significant grants. And then setting an example of effective philanthropy, I don't think we could find a better example than to give every dollar of a member's membership dollars back out in grants to the community without using any of that for administrative purposes. So I think that's one of the things that people really love about Impact, and that's why people continue to join and we continue to grow, because we're such good stewards of their money.
Well, and having been president, you didn't just step down and walk away. You're still highly involved. That speaks a lot to the organization.
And I think it just gets in your blood. You know, you can listen to every past president or board member or member for that matter, and people just love Impact, and we love that we get to make a difference in the community.
And Mary, as current president, I imagine that's a pretty big job.
It's a big job, but we're all so devoted that you don't even think about the work. It's just fun. We've got a fantastic board of directors. It's a very hardworking board, obviously without any paid staff behind the scenes. And we work together like family, and we all believe in it. We're drinking the Kool-Aid together. And so it's a joy to be able to do the work that we do for so many in the community.
And what drew you to it initially?
Well, I think it was the ladies that were founding it that year. We've already heard from Debbie and Belle, and I knew both of them at the time and just really respected them and thought that anything they touch will turn to gold. And so I wanted to be involved in it, and I have been all 15 years and still loving it.
Stayed the whole time.
Yes.
That's wonderful. And Bridget, you're going to be the president coming up soon.
Yes, I'm very excited and certainly honored and both humbled to follow in the footsteps of these wonderful ladies. And what I love about Impact is that, as Mary mentioned, it's like a family. They continue to be involved. The path is set. A lot has been said about Belle Bear and continuing to be involved and making sure that we stay the course and follow those early mission and core values. So just excited and very, very honored.
I love the continuum of this group because it's people are staying and helping. Is there another group that you know of that's done as much philanthropically in this area?
Well, no, I think you'd be hard-pressed to know anyone who's done it as much as we have in the area. And it's amazing. We talked about when it first started. I couldn't imagine that we were going to get even 100 women to give $1,000. And when my first year as president, Marnie Needle, who was president before me, said, we need to reach 1,000 women this year. And I was petrified. It was my first year as president. I'm like, she's putting this goal on me. I don't want, we were at 745, and I'm like, there is no way this is going to happen. And we didn't that year, but we were still very proud. We grew up by over 100 members. The following year, we really did set it as a goal to reach to 1,000. And I was a little dubious still, but once we let the community know that was where we were trying to go and that we were getting close, I mean, it was an effort of the entire membership. They said, I'm coming in with my neighbor's check. I'm coming in. And it was it was like it's groundswell. And we hit 1,000 members. We were able to fund 10 grants and everything changed. We had to figure out about how to have 15 members, and we changed the location of our 15 finalists, and how to change the location of our annual meeting that year. And that was when we made the decision, as I said, to go from 7 minutes for their presentations to 5 minutes. And it worked beautifully. I mean, it really all worked. And it's a lot of work, as Mary said, to be president of Impact, but it's the best job I ever had. And if I could have done it, I would have done it forever, because you get to work with amazing women. I mean, it's like going to my sorority meetings, and I'm seeing my friends and hanging out with them, and you learn wonderful things about the community. I mean, there were hard decisions to be made at times. We had to make decisions about conflicts of interest and things like that, but it's really fulfilling work to be able to do it. So it was a privilege to be president of Impact 100.
Would you say, by and large, that the good things have far outweighed the challenges?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And I mean, I think it's set further on in things we want to cover. But when I drive down the street and I see a van pull up beside me that has an Impact 100 label to show that we funded it, or I drive past a playground where children are playing, or a garden that's making fresh food for our community, anything like that. I mean, it affects my daily life, because I go and I give my clothes that I clean out of my closet to a grant that we funded. I know the great people that are doing work in this community, and it is far outweighs any challenges, yes.
Cindy, we've talked about the ripple effect, but it is pretty incredible. I know I was at a venue over the weekend for City Arts, and they had a big Impact sign over something there, and it's just everywhere you go, you can see that Impact has been there.
Well, and I think part of the reason for that is one of the big requirements to win an Impact grant or to be advanced as a finalist is sustainability of your project. And so Impact does such great due diligence to make sure that the organization is sustainable and make sure that their project is sustainable and that it can continue to thrive after the Impact funding is finished. And so because we do such a great job and the ladies go to such lengths in the due diligence process, there are so many projects that are still alive and affecting positively our community.
It's just incredible to see, and it gives a nonprofit really kind of your stamp of approval as well.
Absolutely. You know, we've had people say, I'd rather have the IRS come look at me than Impact, because our reputation is such that organizations know they have to have everything together to be considered a finalist for an Impact 100 grant. And so when someone else considers funding an organization that Impact has been involved with, has funded, has been a finalist of Impact 100, they automatically know that there's something good about that organization, or it wouldn't have advanced that far into the process.
Right, that helps the whole community. So now, how do you find new members today, Mary?
Well, you know, I think it's so nice that our members are so devoted, that our members are recruiting their friends. When I came in as president, I had to maintain the 1,000 level, and so I was so worried about that. And I quickly realized it had nothing to do with me. Our membership would take care of it. Our nonprofits that constantly give testimonials about how Impact has affected them, improved their organization, given them that stamp of approval if they're a recipient, it makes our jobs easy. I mean, people want to get involved. And we realize $1,000 is a big gift. It's a donation that you might have to do some intentional budgeting and plan for that. And women do it. You know, that if it's the last dollar they have, they want to give it to Impact because they're committed to doing what we have been doing so long. And when you referred to the logos around town, I mean, it's on everything. It's on vehicles, it's on buildings, it's on playgrounds and museums and, you know, search and rescue equipment. It's, you know, all kinds of aspects of our daily living here in Escambia and Santa Rosa County. So we're very lucky that at this point in our 15th year, this is our 15th anniversary, that it really does speak for itself. So it's not a hard sell at all. But we do host membership events, and it's open to anyone that would like to come. Our members do bring ladies to hear our story, and grant recipients do tell their story at our membership events. And then once we have new members join, we try to keep them by encouraging them to get involved. Even though there's no requirement for time, we do encourage them to be involved, at least serve on a committee that first year so they understand what we do and how we do it. And I think just engaging them really improves that retention if they're going to, rejoin that next year.
So Bridget, what kind of things do you have in mind for when you're president? Continuing more of the good stuff.
Definitely, Sherry. I mean, the core values, our mission are really set. It is the ladies who've gone before me have really set into motion things at work. Membership continues to grow. Nonprofits continue to apply for grants. And if anything, I see more focus on the grants process. I mean, I've been involved in grants since becoming a part of Impact 100, and it's been mentioned that we do the nonprofit workshop, which is part of that knowing and serving the community. So it's open to all of our nonprofits, and I'd just like to see us continue to improve that and let more of our community know about that, and just continue to offer programs that improve the quantity and quality of grants that are submitted to Impact 100.
And speaking of grants, do you go out actively looking for nonprofits to apply, or have you just found that people are flocking to you? I'll start with Cindy.
Well, we do encourage our members to encourage the organizations who they are passionate about, to make sure that they're in our database, that they're learning about what's going on in the process, and that they do apply for a grant, that they come to the workshops. When we go to different places and speak, we have opportunities almost all during the year to go to different organizations, civic clubs, things like that, to speak. And then we ask those people to make sure that the organizations they love are involved with Impact or applying for grants. So I wouldn't say that we go out and solicit directly to the nonprofits, but we do make sure that everyone we come in contact with is making sure the organizations they love are part of Impact in that process.
Well, the crazy thing is, we feel like we know about it. It's part of our daily lives, and we're passionate about it. I still go out in the community, and I find people who I say Impact 100, and they're like, what's that?
Oh, really?
And so we try to get out here. We appreciate you giving us this opportunity, and we try to talk about it as much as we can so that people do know and apply for our grants.
Well, it's important, and we do have new people moving into the area, and people leave, and more people come in. So, final thoughts from you, Holly?
Final thoughts is that I'd love to see that our groundwork has been laid. It's like Bridget said, you just have to follow the path that our founding board members laid for us. As long as we stick to the Impact 100 model, that is why we have our success, and it's wonderful to see all that it does in our community.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much for your service, and we thank Holly Jernevoy for being with us, and absolutely for all of your service. Cindy, Mary, and Bridget will be staying on for our last segment of this edition of inStudio. When we come back, we'll be talking about what the future holds with this impactful organization. This is inStudio on WSRE TV, PBS for the Gulf Coast. Stay right here.
WSRE Public Television and the Escambia Elementary Principals Association congratulate these Shining Star Award recipients. These students were selected upon the basis of good citizenship and adherence to the core values adopted by the Escambia County School System: equality, responsibility, integrity, respect, honesty, and patriotism. Congratulations to all of these outstanding students.
Welcome back to inStudio on WSRE. Our topic, Impact 100, 15 years and still making an impact. Remaining with us for our final segment, Cindy Warren, Mary Asmar, and Bridget Brooks. All of these outstanding women have served, are serving, or will be serving as president of Impact 100 Pensacola Bay Area. And Mary, back to you, since you're the current president. It's 2018, it's the 15th anniversary. New records have been set. So what's going on?
Well, this is a really exciting year, being our 15th anniversary, and for 5 years now, we have been able to maintain over 1,000 members, which means we are able to give away $1 million each year. But for the first time this year, we were able to eclipse 1,100, so our final number was 1,103 members, which means for the first time in history, we get to give away 11 grants. So we're very excited about that. That's 11 nonprofits that will benefit instead of 10, and so our voting will be just like it's been in the last couple of years, where our members will vote for 2 in each focus area, and then in one of those focus areas there'll be a third recipient, and so we'll have 11 recipients this year. So we're really excited about that because that will bring our new total for giving up to $10,498,000, funding 98 grants since our history.
Just absolutely incredible, just incredible. And the grants process, that you do provide a workshop, so you make it easier. We've talked about that a little bit, but somebody might be intimidated by it. What would you say to that?
What I would say, Sherry, is we really try to make it very easy, and we try to provide workshops and sessions that really encourage and help our nonprofits. It's been mentioned that we do the nonprofit workshop that's always held in mid-April, and it's really open to all nonprofits, and typically we have a speaker who will encourage and inspire our nonprofits to think big, and then sometimes we have a very utilitarian speaker who might speak about the aspects of putting together an effective grant. But we always have great feedback, and whether the nonprofits attending apply for the impact grant or another grant, they always leave more informed, more inspired, and prepared to apply for a grant. We also offer a Grant Application 101. So for those nonprofits who do apply for an impact grant and submit a letter of intent to apply, we literally walk them through our grant application, and we explain to them why we ask the questions that we do, because we want them to understand the thought process that's gone into putting together that grant application and what our ladies might be looking for in committee. We also added a grants not a 101, but a Q&A session. So if you're an applicant and you're working on your application and you find that you have some questions that are specific to your organization, you can sit down with an Impact 100 board member and we'll answer some of those questions for you. Of course, we're not going to give you, we're not going to say what to include in your application, but we will direct you and guide you as to just questions that you might have. And so we really try to make the process very simple. All of our applications are submitted online. The application that we use, we've gotten great feedback from our nonprofits to say it really is very simple to use. So we really do try to make ourselves available and to make the process easy and effective for our nonprofits.
Well, I know as a nonprofit with the Sanger Theater at one point, we had applied for a grant, and there was a good feeling of support from the organization. Again, as you said, nobody's going to tell you what to write, but you had your hand held, so to speak, if you needed to have some extra help.
Wonderful. And that's what we want our nonprofit organizations to feel very supported through the process.
Yes, you absolutely do a great job of that. So now, Cindy, you were president. You've been involved for a really long time. Now you're involved with a global council. There's a global council for Impact now. Tell us about that.
Impact 100 Global Council. And that is an organization also started by Wendy Steele, the founder of Impact 100, which is really a support system for all of the Impact chapters. The mission is really to provide support and to share best practices among all of the Impact 100 groups so that we can continue to help sustain the growth and the viability of Impact 100s across the world. And we say global, I think Holly alluded to this earlier, but we have 52 impact organizations across the globe, 8 of which are in Australia.
Wow.
And we have 9 under development right now.
That is so exciting. So how many people are on the council, and have they all been like maybe past presidents or really know the organization well?
Well, the council is fairly young, and so we only have about 6 or 8 women on the council board right now. Of course, as we continue to grow and get our mission really going and solidify our action steps, then we will be looking to grow, because much like Belle said, we're looking for women with skill sets, not necessarily women who are high profile in the community, they all are associated with Impact 100 groups in some part of the country.
So, am I right? Was it Cincinnati and then Pensacola and then Austin? Is that how it went?
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
And then spread on over to Australia. Do you know, are most impact groups still in existence?
Yes. Yes, I'm not aware of any impact groups that have gone out of existence. And sometimes they change. They go through evolutions. Sometimes they come in, they're a part of a community foundation, then they break away and they become a separate group. So they do change and go and evolve a little bit, but I'm not aware of any that have actually shut down.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's such a great model. I mean, and somebody could contact this local organization, I would imagine, too, to find out more information about that, even viewers in Alabama or other areas.
Because what happens is people get referred to different impact organizations. If they're starting a group, then they may call Wendy, they may call someone or email the Global Council, but we will refer them, depending on what their question is, to another organization. And I will say many times when they're talking about membership and growing their membership, they almost always get referred to Pensacola because they are the largest and they're, you know, kind of the poster child of effective membership drives.
Largest in the world. Let's just say that a few more times.
Yes, we are the largest in the world, and we're so proud of that. And our ladies are all very proud. They all have the magnets proudly displayed on their cars as members, and we'll continue to grow because of that dedication. We're only as good as our grant applicants, though. So our ladies are willing to give that $1,000, but they want to see quality grant applications. So each year we do encourage those nonprofits. We have over 1,400 individuals in our database that are involved with nonprofits, whether they be executive directors or chairman of the board. And so we reach out to them and let them know our calendar of events for our grant application deadline. And we're coming up on our deadline. It's June 13th. So we'll be forming our focus area committees mid-July to start reviewing those grants for this year. So we're really excited about where we are in the process.
Yes, so everything is, you'll have by the mid-June mark and then start looking into things. So you actually have people from committees go to the sites and really check it out.
Yes, we conduct a site visit for every single grant applicant. So our ladies will go out in groups of anywhere from 3 to 10 or 15 women, and they will ask questions. They'll have read the grant before they arrive, and it gives that organization the opportunity to really bring that grant to life. You know, you can't always understand what they're proposing by just reading it on the paper, and so when they can explain it in person, it really makes a lot more sense. And our ladies are very passionate about that, but they come back and report objectively to the rest of their committee. We tell them we don't want you to be a cheerleader, we just want you to be the reporter. And so we are really proud of our process being comprehensive but also being fair and maintaining that integrity from year to year.
So just give us the facts, right? Yes. And I was asking earlier about could people pool resources, and we were saying no, it's very true to the one woman, one vote.
Yes, we don't have any joint memberships. It's only women, and it's one woman, one vote, $1,000. And it's a kind of a short year from our March 1st deadline to our annual meeting, October 14th. So that's why we do provide events throughout the year for the ladies to continue to be involved, meet other women of impact, because it's a big organization with 1,000 members. And so we want ladies to be able to be engaged very quickly and understand. And so we try to give them as much educational opportunity as we can. We host a new member social and orientation. We do a grant update event, which highlights the previous year's recipients so they can see the organizations that we've recently funded. And it's exciting. There's all kinds of things throughout the year, so there's a little bit of something for everyone.
Something going on all throughout the year. So I'm glad to be able to tell people about it in June and remind people. So really somebody, what would you say, I'll let each of you, what would you say to somebody watching that would either like to be a member or apply for a grant?
I would say to someone who is thinking about applying for a grant, but as you said, might be a little intimidated, just do it. You know, dive off and do it, because your organization will become better for having gone through that process. The questions in the grant application, the questions that you get in the site visit, they make an organization stop and think about where they are and where they might need to go as an organization. And it will always make you better. So do it, and you'll be happy that you did.
And as for being a member, there was a time when I said, well, if I've got $1,000, I want to make sure it goes to this organization. I did that for the longest time. I finally, in full disclosure, joined Impact 100 because of the great work that Impact does. So would you encourage other women to do the same?
Oh, I absolutely would, because the feeling that you have at that annual meeting to know that you were a part of over $1 million that just went back out into our community, very few people can feel a part of $1 million gift. And so I think just the satisfaction that you get by being a part of that and seeing the impact that the group really is having in our community is like nothing else.
It's wonderful. Bridget, final thoughts from you.
I would echo what Cindy said. If nonprofits apply, we are only as good as our nonprofits, as Mary said, and we do handhold you through the process. We want to make you a better organization, and the feedback that we get is we are so glad we went through the process, whether we win or not. So please apply.
That's wonderful, and we're about out of time, Mary.
And I was just going to say, we try to be good stewards of our members' money, and so we do help the nonprofit throughout the process in that they will build their project just as they propose in their grant. We don't give them that big check right off the bat, but they get 2 years to spend that $100,000, and so we feel good about the way we conduct that process.
Well, and again, the follow-up and the follow-through and the going back and visiting, again, it's all very thorough. I commend each of you. Thank you for being with us, and thank you for your service to the community.
Thank you for having us.
A great show. Thanks for being here. Thank you to our guests on this special broadcast, Debbie Richey, Belle Bear, Holly Jernavoy, Cindy Warren, Mary Asmar, and Bridget Brooks. All incredible women making a big impact on the Pensacola Bay Area. And on that note, here again is Wendy Steele from the 10th anniversary celebration of Impact 100, talking about just what makes the Pensacola Bay Area group so extraordinary.
What makes Pensacola so special is all of you. It's the hardworking, caring, committed people who get up every morning and decide to make a difference, who get up every morning and look at what they can do to solve the problems that break their hearts. That's what makes Pensacola so special.
Special indeed. If you would like to know more about Impact 100 Pensacola Bay Area, whether as a member or as a nonprofit hoping for a very impactful sum of money to further your organization's mission, you can go to impact100pensacola.org. There you will find out how to become a member, how to volunteer, or how to apply for grants. You may also just enjoy looking through some of the amazing projects that continue to make a huge impact in Northwest Florida. Now, if you're really interested, you may like to see the 10th anniversary broadcast we did in 2014. It can be found on YouTube, and it is called Impact 100, Changing Lives, Strengthening Communities. Impact 100 Pensacola Bay Area, 15 years strong and still making an impact. We look forward to finding out what the future will hold for this extraordinary group of women. You've been watching inStudio. I'm Sherry Hemminghouse-Weeks. Thank you so much for joining us. I'll see you next time right here on WSRE TV, PBS for the Gulf Coast. Take care.